I'm giving this foundation because I believe it's important for us to know all this for our reaction, right? So we know there's Inside Africa platform, which is a big platform, and I think it was in March, Jovi shared a tweet from them when they were classifying the top 10 African rappers, and he was not on the list, and he wasn't very pleased about that. So this is not that Inside Africa platform. This is just somebody on Twitter. I looked at her page. She has like a 500 following and stuff. So, but why? So she shared this list of top 10 artists or top 10 musicians in Africa. Now, how the Cameroonians hear about this? 237 Showbiz, a famous blog in Cameroon, picked it up, took a screenshot, shared it on their page, and then Cameroonians started reacting to it because no Cameroonian artist was on the list. But also at the end of her tweet, something 237 did not share. At the end of her tweet, she said this was according to Classified. Classified is a news outlet, a Nigerian news outlet. It's focused on Nigeria and Africa, things that are happening in that region. So she said this list is according to that platform. Bear in mind, this is a Nigerian-focused platform, and then they touch on other matters happening in Africa. So that's the background of this. No Cameroonian made the list. People are not pleased in the comment section. Some people are like, yeah, did you think people will make the list? Some people are like, a lot of people think they are criticizing or they are trying to do some constructive criticism, but they are hypocrites. Some people are like, Cameroonians need to do better. A lot of people have different points of views. Now, the question to you guys is, do you think there is any Cameroonian artist that deserves to be on that list? I think you guys have seen the list, right?
Yep.
So, is there any name that you think, let's take off this name and put this Cameroonian artist?
First of all, why are we talking about the person's list? That's what I want to know, because this thing is all just personal preference. That's the person's personal opinion. And there is... Okay. If I have to make my own list, the only person on that list that will feature on the list will be... musically, I would say Tiwa Savage. Burna Boy, maybe. The rest, fuck off. Yeah, because
who are those you put on that list?
Because she's saying which Cameroon artist do I think is supposed to be on the list. Instead, I'm looking at the list and say which of these artists are supposed to be on my list.
But will Cameroonian artists make your list though?
My list?
Yeah.
Of top 10 African musicians.
Of course, there'll be Cameroonian artists on my list. Loco will be there.
Okay, Cameroonian artists will not make my own list.
Loco will be on my list.
Wow. Okay, so there'll be, let's have your Loco be on a list. Who else? Just Loco?
Because some of the things, what are the criteria we're even talking about? Musically?
Yes, so you're
if it is musically, Loco will be on my list. There is this girl Tinia, she'll be on my list. These guys, you guys don't know. If it is musically, I don't mean commercially, because the ambassador, I don't know why you say Cameroonians will not be on your list. Is it commercially or musically?
So I just feel like it's a mix, and all of those things are connected. So it's true that you will not have 0 on 10 musically and then 9 on 10 commercially, and then you are big on Grammys or on this top 10 list. So I feel like you need to make sure you have a balance of at least 8 on 10 talent-wise, or maybe even 7 on 10 talent-wise, then do the work commercially to maybe 8 on 10 for you to have a balance of the numbers. So I feel like there are a couple of aspects that run in the criteria they take into consideration. But it's not one thing. It cannot be talent only. Because if you are talented, like some of those, you are moving beside a stream somewhere in, I don't know where, around Kumba, and you hear a girl singing in that stream. She's very talented, but I'll not put her on that list still. So it cannot just be about talent.
No, it's not about talent. The reason I said
branding,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I said musically is not just about talent. It's not about vocally. It's about musically. How creative are you? How like creating a piece of art like music. You know, I don't mean you have a great voice. No, I mean musically. How crazy
No,
are you?
even,
How
even
can you?
that, I mean, like, we have guys who musically are beasts who are singing the UB choir, but that's just it for them. Most of these guys who are very big today, the Salatiels, and then Salatiel Leo came under Salatiel, the what's his name? This other fair guy, Bless B, this other guy who was in the UB choir, what's his name? The number one girl guy, what's his name?
I don't know.
What's the
Last day.
Oh.
They all ran through the UB choir, and then they all, Salatiel and Leo, not UB choir, but some other secondary school choir which Salatiel was managing. But somehow all of these guys are connected to Emin Gomba. These are very big names in the industry, but Emin Gomba is not that big. So he can be a very strong musical guy, but for some reason he has not just put together the right combination for it to be up there. Someone will say musically, Emin Gomba should be on the list, but why will you put Emin Gomba on that list? He has not put the right combination for those who know the musical scene, especially from the southwest side of things, or at least the Anglophone side of things. That's a very strong musical talent, but commercially, he has not yet made the right combination for his name to go up there.
Okay, so if they say you should call your top 10 African artists, you go based on their commercial success or their reach?
Yes, I'll blend talent and commercial.
So if you are blending talent and commercial, there will be no Cameroon artists on your list?
Yes, all the way. For Africa, yes.
Okay. Call the 10 you'll be.
Let's just say in Africa. I feel like should have been there, but they are not there because of poor strategy poor strategy.
Who are the guys?
Okay, so so I want each of us to list our top 10 African musicians. Before we get to that, let me just read the names on the list for those who have not seen the list. So we have Burna Boy first.
They not start today with updates.
Yeah, we're supposed to start with live updates.
You don't just think about it. I'll say I was excited to get to the topic. When we are done with this topic, then we'll talk about the update. Okay. Followed by, we have Wizkid, we have Diamond Platinum, we have Davido, we have Fally Ipupa, we have Tiwa Savage, Sarkodie, Yemi Alade, Two-Face Idibia, and Shoma Josie. So those are the names on the list. So just looking at this list, it's definitely personal preference because me, as I'm looking at this list right now, I'm really thinking of some names that I feel like should be there. Like I'll probably put like a Nasty, I might put like a Casper Newvest.
Personal preference. Like, I knew that your list Nasty will be on it.
Yeah, definitely Nasty has to be on this list. So,
okay, on my list, who do you think would be on my list? Who do you think would be on my list?
I wonder why you did not call Malok from Cameroon. Like you call Loco, but you not call Malok.
No. Person. Musically, Maloks, no. That's why I say despite the fact that it's his personal preference, right? I have a reason why I listen to Maloks. I just have a mood. But on the broader scale, like there are some spaces where Malok is a niche artist. Malox is not like a commercial artist. In Cameroon, we can see him that way, but on the grand scheme, Malox is not. Yeah, so Malox is niche, like for somebody like me. But when I say in Africa, then I'm considering all those bridges that you need to cross, all those places you need to get into, like all those appease the wider audience. Like you have to do things that may touch here, or get to this point. Yeah, Malox cannot fit that criteria, but Loco can. Yeah, if Mimi had the exposure Loco had, she would be there
honestly,
for me.
I think like Loco starting off with the brand which he had of the love song. Like even though he does love songs, but I think his most recent songs are not that poppy like his initial songs. So I don't know if he will still make the list in present time because most of the fact that his recent projects have not that.
Are we putting Loco on that list just because we are 237, or we feel like if they put a basket of 100 artists and they all sing and we all look at their numbers, Loco is going to emerge. Even if we're not 237, a talented guy like Loco in Nigeria is going to emerge in this top 10.
If they were to sing, yes, Loco will emerge.
I don't think so. People sing, If you look at Nigeria, that's every brand of singing you can imagine that people can sing. You hear it in Nigeria. Out of those, there are 200 million people.
Yeah, but
so you cannot just
listen,
only sing.
Loco will make it on my list. Since we are going with mainstream or guys who have crossed those boundaries, right? If not, we'll just go with, I'll call who's this guy? If not, I'll just say
I agree with most of this list though. I'll just take off some names and add some.
No, to me on that,
I agree with most of this list.
If it is up to me on that list, I think the person on this list that is qualified to be on my list is Tiwa Savage. That's one. Fali Pupa will be there. Because if we are just going off hype and popularity, I know Davido and Burna Boy will be there. Burna Boy, Davido, and Whiskey. Those guys will be there. That's off hype.
So you feel those guys are not talented? They're not talented?
No.
You think Burna Boy is not talented?
More than.
Wow.
No.
Oh my god.
I just believe Burna Boy. To me, Burna Boy is hype. That's my personal preference.
Well, that's definitely.
Davido Bonala is hype.
Who?
Burna Boy cannot.
That who is hype?
Burna Boy is pure talent. His lyrics wise, even the melody is talent.
So, Burna Boy is not the most vocal person, but there are lots of elements taken into consideration. Well, yes, when we're judging music, there are lots of other elements which is not just the vocals. Though.
Yeah.
Lyrics to count for something, his ability to play with melody, the message in it.
Exactly, Burna Boy. I cannot say. I don't know.
I feel like there are other elements musically which will still go for him. Which, but if it's vocally, I can see why you say Burna Boy is not it vocally. I feel Loco is better than Burna Boy vocally, yes, but message-wise, branding-wise, and all these other things, Burna Boy is better than him. So.
Wait, I don't understand. What you mean branding though? What do you mean by branding?
So for me, when I say branding, is like I always just say like what they have done with Coca-Cola. You have put his name out there. You have created a target audience, like saying that okay, I'm just trying to paint a rough image of the target audience for Burna Boy. First, he started with that his street song where they're dancing galala on the street. So he got all the street boys in Nigeria. Then he went now to, we all know that the weed crowd / the scammer crowd / the boys who have come back from the UK is a certain group, which a good number of young people, though they don't fully fall under that group, they follow that group. Then he went now to South Africa and then bought another crowd of the young happening boys, which when you look at that crowd, is the same crowd in South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, at least most of English Africa. These young boys who are making it happen. Some is because they went to the diaspora and came back. Some is because they made it big in their country. All of these guys will be following him. So they have branded him like he's like one of you now. And now if you're a guy who you want to smoke your weed, but still you want to talk deep, you have committed some crime in your past. So there's all of those things which technically when they say they're branding something, you look at it, it's like a mirror. You look at the audience, then you perfect whatever product you are selling so that the audience can associate themselves more with that product.
So why is Naira Marley not on your list?
So one, I feel like Naira Marley has not been there long enough. Two, as I said, it should be a balance. So I feel like Naira Marley, talent-wise for me, might be on a 4 on 10. So although commercially he's on an 8 on 10, it does not suffice for him to make the list if we're trying to balance out these various scores. So aggregate-wise, he does not make it. But if it's just branding-wise, he might make it. But when we aggregate talent and branding, he's going to fall short because talent-wise is not that high.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I want us to proceed to give our names the top 5 because I feel like 10 is
go ahead.
Too much
10
for
is
this
a stretch.
Yeah, so top 5
is a stretch.
So let me give.
I said 10 to me is a stretch.
Yeah. So let me start with myself. Narcisse, of course. Burna Boy. I'm going to put Tiwa Savage on that list.
Yeah.
I'm going to put
What's the gender balance?
because I like Tiwa Savage. She has good songs.
Don't ask him to be sure. It's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Okay. Who else? Oh, Casanova. He has released some songs which are really.
Are you sure that's not more than 5?
No, I'm on 4 now. I have one more chance. You know what? I'm going to put Daphne on that list. I'm going to go ahead and put Daphne on that list.
Wait. Is Sarkozy on your list?
You know what? Sarkozy, like, this is my personal preference. Like, I listen to rap, but I'm not that much of a rapper. I'm mindful of the fact that I don't even understand what Sarkozy is saying. So I don't really listen to him that much. So you understand
Kaspanov, yes.
That much. So, oh yeah. So sometimes and Kaspanov is not much of a rap person. Rap. He's more of how they call it.
He's a rap. No. Just because you're listening to his recent songs now that he makes this.
Yeah, some of those love songs where he's doing featuring things.
Yeah, but he's rap. It means you just listen to his singles.
What I'm saying is,
yeah.
I have Casanova songs that I put on repeat, but I have no Sarkozy song that I put on repeat. So that's my point I'm trying to put across.
Okay, I'll send you some Sarkozy songs. You surely put them on it.
Well, okay. Well, I don't know what to say, but yeah. So Ambassador, it's your turn. Top 5.
Okay. So for me, top 5 is a problem, but as I said, I'll be going off commercial and talent. Definitely, I'm going to put Burna Boy and Wizkid on my list. I'm going to put Calligraph Jones on my list. I'm going to put Nasty C on my list. I'm going to put Fali
okay.
on my list.
Okay. He's on 4, right?
Wait, are you giving your last one?
I gave 2 Nigeria, Calligraph Jones, Nasty C, and then let me see. I'll give Fali Ipupa. So I went Congo or French Africa. I went to Nigeria, 1 Kenya, 1 South Africa. That's fine.
Okay, that'll be your turn.
Okay. You already know Loco will be on my list, right? But it's not that he'll be the first, but it's just in any order. Like Loco will be on my list, Rema will be on my list. I'm confused. The rest are just bracket.
Yeah, I feel like top 10 is confusing though.
Yeah, just call the names that scream in your head.
My top 10 is the people that I feel like they should be top 10 in Africa, but not those are my favorites. There's a difference.
Oh, you feel like they should be top 10 in Africa?
Yes, I was talking about top 10 in Africa, looking at their commercial success and their talent success. I'm not looking about my preference. Because it is my preference.
If that's
Cameroon, my preference in Africa, some Cameroonians will be in it. But what I feel like is top 10 in Africa, I will not put Cameroonians in it. So there's a difference there. So I gave top 10
if that's how you're
Africa,
going, if that's the way you put it, right? If that's the way you put it.
I remember my preference.
Yeah, I was going with my preference too. No, the ambassador, if we are going the way you're putting it, right? If we go with
to think that our opinion counts so much for Africa.
Yeah, it counts. This thing, the least this person done is just their personal preference. Let me give mine.
Well,
okay.
No, the person had a backing from some other magazine, right? That's what you said.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Delby, what's your top 5? You have given.
Because they wait.
You have given Loco. Three people are left.
Wait.
So
Tiwa Savage is there, but wait.
So we go. Yeah.
Personal preference. Tiwa Savage is there. Adekule Gold is there. You know Adekule Gold. Yeah, Adekule Gold is there. Tiwa Savage is there. Rema is there. Loco is there, and if he has to do with comments, I'll add Fali Ipupa.
Okay, Fali Ipupa. Okay, awesome.
Okay, but wait,
us to say hi to some of the people who have joined. So we have Chi Greg, who has been missing for a long time. Chi Greg, welcome. It's glad to see you here again. We have DJ Ijab saying, "Una go send link for group or a blow powder."
Wait,
I thought the link was not shared. DJ Ijab, you have to blow powder.
Blow the powder.
I beg no blow powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, greetings to all. So he's sending his greetings. Okay. So,
you
wanted to say something before I wanted to read the comments.
I wanted to say, if we are going based on the analogy the ambassador went with, like commercially, like all these things, the top 5 I'll give in Africa will be Metro Gyms, Tyke, Dose, Fali Pupa.
Metro Gyms? Are you talking about Metro Gyms who started his career in France?
Who told you Metro Gyms in Africa?
No, there'll be the thing is
what I'm saying is we cannot bring Aya Nakamura, we cannot bring Miss Banks from the UK, we cannot bring guys.
No, we can.
Also are blowing up in America.
Even if you add, listen. Even if you add Tinashe to that list, she will not still make the list because Tyke will be there. Dose will be there. No, you cannot add Wale. That's not the point. I'm talking.
Why can't we add Wale?
No.
If you are putting Metro Gyms.
Okay, listen. If we are adding Metro Gyms, right? Okay. Yeah, I get the point. If we can take out Metro Gyms. We can take out Wale, but we are talking about the African market, how they are being consumed in Africa market. I don't see any reason why you can't have somebody like Tyke, Rotimi is supposed to be there.
I think they'll be sorry for interrupting, but I think we are talking about Africa exports. What Africa is exporting to the world. So it's not basically what the influence that foreign musicians have on Africa.
It's not
for a lot of Beyonce, a lot of Rihanna, but I think
get this
about from Africa to the world.
Okay, if it is from Africa to the world, then I don't see any reason why Dose is not supposed to be there.
Who is Dose? Sorry, I don't know Dose.
That's already a bad indicator if that does not know Dose.
Oh my God! Wait, the ambassador, do you know Dose?
Yeah.
One of the highest selling African artists, like the most French artist. Let me not say Africa, it's like French.
What song?
I don't know if it's African though, but I know his roots are in Africa.
Listen, let me tell you this. Let me tell you,
which song of his is viral, please?
He has a song with Madagascar. Faut pas oublier. That's the guy. Faut pas oublier. That's the guy. That Dose is one of French top, like if you want to go top 5 selling, Dose is among them. Dose is Pete Bakazi's junior brother. Most of you don't know. One mother, like one father. You guys don't know.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned this some time ago when we were talking about Pete Bakazi's world.
Yeah.
But Dose, he was born and raised in Africa.
In Cameroon, yeah.
Okay, then he started his music career where?
In France.
What kind of music does he sing?
Rap.
Is it any African inclined music? Is there?
He has few like Afro beats in his projects, in his catalog, but mostly French rap.
So he sprinkles Afro beats. Exactly. And the rest is French rap. Yeah. I don't think that's Africa.
Why though? Then Nasty C is not Africa.
No. What I'm saying is listen, I asked you several questions. It was not just the sprinkling Afrobeat. I asked you several questions. Narcissi blew up in South Africa. So I'm talking about Africa to the world. If we compare people who had the opportunity to, like for example, it's like comparing Francis Gano to a boxer in the neighborhood in Kumba or Douala, somebody who succeeds to make it, go out and make it. So like, just out there you have different influences, different opportunities, things are different out there. It's not fair to compare somebody who blows out there to somebody who blows in Africa. The same playing field, we compare at that level.
The thing is, the grounds everybody or we all are talking about the classification of all these lists. We don't have a fixed criteria of all these things because there are so many things that can come in play if you want to start making this list. So let's just go with personal preference. Who do I vibe with more than everybody else? Just say your opinion. Call it Stop adding criteria, adding some kind of strategies, adding some kind of philosophies to it, and try to make it logical. No, let that person just say, we vibe and we put these guys ahead of everybody else because these are most of the guys that populate our playlist, or we want to listen to songs more and more. We listen to these guys. Should stop saying commercially, vocally, branding. We should stop using all these things.
I think there is a, how can I even call it? There's a weakness to that approach because when we are putting out something public, we cannot expect people in the public to understand our preferences and our playlist.
Exactly.
I don't feel like when Caliga Jones and them were nominated for awards, it was based off the committee's preference.
Personal preferences.
They had a clear-cut criteria, which if they are asked, like, why do you select this guy? We might not agree with the criteria, but they have a criteria. So it's very important, even in your preference, you should say, why is this preference? But there are certain things where it's just like, because he's Cameroonian, I like him. That's not criteria enough.
No.
But for me,
understand this.
I don't feel like
if I might just if I want to add to your point, right? Because I think that's one of the grievances that blacks have been having with the Grammy, because the people on the board are not people who are in touch with the Black American movies or the Black culture or stuff like that. And then is it the Grammys or the Oscars? It's one of them. So you have these people boycotting it because you don't have people nominating these movies on the board because they don't have that personal preference of liking their projects. So it's like we want to have people on the board who can also like point out these our projects, like, okay, we like this.
Okay.
So when you are like thinking of, okay, this is something that's supposed to go public, this is something that is people are supposed to take my opinion publicly, then I think we have to like step back a little bit from our personal preferences.
But it doesn't stop the fact that it's your opinion though, because award shows are different, because the winners are, let's just say, they use a means of maybe bringing people in to vote, and thus maybe adding other influences or other opinions onto what you already built up as an opinion. But coming up with a list, that's your opinion from top to bottom. You're just trying to make criteria, make people view the list the way you view it.
If we say somebody stole 5 million records on Spotify, that's not your opinion. It's backed by the numbers.
Exactly.
If we say that somebody's following on YouTube is this million, it's backed by the numbers. If we say that somebody sold this much or their ticket sales was this much, it's backed by the numbers.
So do you mean, okay,
and
so
some of those,
what you mean to say, if that's the criteria the guy is using to make his list, are you saying all those guys on that list, if you want to go by numbers, there's nobody in Africa that sell more than those guys?
Local export, I don't think so.
No.
I have one or two.
No, Omali say more than some of those guys on that list. The list that guy called, Omali sell more than them. Omali and Rema. Just search. Even this guy in Ghana, Shatawale, he even sell more than some of those guys on that list.
So let me break down what I was driving at. I was saying that I feel like a guy like what's his name, Two-Face.
Yep.
I felt like he should not be on that list. But you might be surprised that some of these guys, their accrued sales from a thing like African Queen might still be putting them at a certain level in Africa. So Omale will come with one song now. But when we look at somebody's catalog and the various places where his music is selling, Omale does not have that catalog to compete with him. So a guy like Two-Face, that might be the thing behind. I mean, like there was this other guy. There's one of these guys.
I'm not talking about Two-Face. I'm talking about everybody on the list. I did not say Two-Face. I'm talking about those guys on that list.
Who do you think does not have numbers on that list?
Let me open the list and start calling the people that I think there may be guys that in Africa that sell more than them.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's pull up the list. We start with let's Burna Boy, Wizkid, Diamond Platinum, Davido, Fally Ipupa, Tiwa Savage. There are guys who sell more than Sarkodie. There are guys who sell more than Yemi Alade. There are guys who even sell more than Tiwa Savage.
You think Shatta Wale sells more than Sarkodie?
Why not? Of course.
Accumulated?
Of course.
I don't think so.
Right now, of course. So. No, right now.
No, right now, he might have a one song which is selling higher than Sarkozy.
Not one song. No, listen, not one song. Even everybody on that list, even new guys now, all their recent songs sell more than Two-Face songs.
Yes, but what I was saying was Sarkozy might have had 20 hits before Shatta Wale ever had his first hit.
Like even somebody like Ricardo Banks even sell more than Two-Face. Who is that guy? Show Mad what?
Show Mad Josie.
I don't know.
Show Mad Josie is that South African girl who sang John Cena.
I don't know her.
Yeah, but I think she has crazy numbers though.
So.
Show Mad Josie,
Tanzania, Kenya, South
Africa. She has crazy numbers, and she has a brand which I think.
I don't know her. Successful. That's why when I called also somebody and you said if your dad does not know her, that's a bad sign. It's almost something like the same thing with this girl. I don't know the girl. It doesn't mean she isn't popular or not.
You don't know Show Mad Josie, huh?
I don't. What song? One reference.
The difference there is you were tuning towards somebody who is from France. This is somebody who is from Africa.
Yes.
He's not from.
Your diaspora.
No, stop saying from France. He's from Cameroon.
I don't know.
He blew up in France.
He blew up in Cameroon singing with Alox or Jovi or Salatiel or which generation in Cameroon music does Dose fall in?
Magasco's generation.
We don't know in Magasco's generation.
He blew up in Magasco.
No, he blew up before the song. Therefore, probably here with Magasco, he already blew up. But
yes, I'm just saying that. Like, they'll say I don't know his number.
The last time I did not know he was Bacardi's brother. I knew like a Cameroonian out there. I feel like Bacardi even had more roots in Cameroon than Dose.
Yeah, of course. Okay, Bacardi blew up before Dose, and he used that his fame to market Dose and made him have a deal with Def Jam in France. So.
Okay, let's read some comments. We have Chigreg saying Dose feed Bacardi's brother, and then he goes on to say, guys, Dose is Bigo. I have been following him for years now. Then we have Neto saying greetings. Okay.
Yeah. Dose is like if you want to call guys who sell in France, who are these guys? You have M Pokora, somebody like that. You when you're calling guys like M Pokora who sell in France, you call people like Dose within that same range.
Okay. There'll be now for me. I feel like this Dose situation, and my illustration that I'll use for it, for me, is the same thing like the Fish and the housemates in Biggie 237. Like if you start comparing, they don't start on the same ground. If you start comparing Dose, who I don't know the numbers it's making on YouTube, but I think it might be in millions, like 50 million,
100 million, 70 to 100.
How do you compare that 70 million with Stanley Eno, who is making his most recent video made like 100,000, or Joe, who is making 100,000? You mean that like you cannot even compare that, and it's understandable that they are not even in the same level because they started different playing fields. So that's why I'm like, it's not okay to put this whole part of the list.
Why? They are all doing music, right?
No, that's my point, Delvi.
And they all came from the same place, right?
No. Did Jovi blow in France?
They all came from Cameroon, right? Because I believe I believe from the beginning of this thing, the ambassador said something like marketing, networking, commercially, all these things that you need to know the machine and the things you put in place to blow up. You have to consider all these things. So if we are considering all those things, at least they make good work of theirs to get to where they are, coming from the same place.
Anyway, that's why I feel like at one time they had to remove Akon from the African list because
of richest
artists. It's not like, so it's the same talent. Loco, if Loco was in America, Loco might be 10 times bigger than Loco is in Cameroon. So we take into consideration that multiplier effect when we want to start comparing them. Either we are going to remove we are going to remove some of the multiplier effect from Dosé, put him on a level playing field with the Cameroonian guys before we compare them. Because knowing that he blew up in France, and we know that this thing is a cycle kind of thing of like, you blow up, they put in 500 million in your career, then you blow up to 100 million. But the guy with the put 10,000 francs in his career is going to blow up to 50,000 francs. So his own growth will be different. And then so we'll be looking at his, how do they call it, his commercial success and his strategy to be weaker than the guy in France because the mechanism and the machinery is not set for him.
I don't even know why Mr. Easy is not even on that list.
I feel like Mr. Easy has become slow recent times.
No, not slow recent time. Mr. Easy is mostly being consumed in the USA now. Mr. Easy being consumed in the USA. You hear him now with songs like with Ziplo, Major Lazer, DJ Snakes. Like he's now like an American artist, like an EDM American artist. His streams, his sales now are not like African sales now. So I don't know why we are trying to discredit most of these guys who make these sales outside, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they don't even consider Mr. Easy now, because the sales he has now.
No, Mr. Easy did not blow in America.
He did not. But what I'm saying now is, if we are
in America.
Yeah, but if we are going with the same criteria, the commercial mixed with the talent and the creativity of the music kind of thing, Mr. Easy now is not the Mr. Easy we know in Legover. Like he's way 20 times above that. His sales, branding, fan base, endorsement, everything. But on this list, I don't see Mr. Easy. Why?
I feel like Mr. Easy there is an argument there for him. But most of the time in this kind of top 10 thing, I'm like, who do you want to kick off this list to add Mr. Easy?
Yes, to put Mr. Easy.
I'm not really on Mr.
They should kick Sarkodie off that list and put Mr. Easy.
Sarkodie?
Yes, kick Sarkodie off that list.
I don't think so. There are at least 5 people that can kick off this list before you can kick Sarkodie.
So you think Sarkodie can sell the same as Mr. Easy?
In Africa, yes.
I
cannot speak for the rest of the world because I'm not looking at those numbers. I'm not aware of those numbers.
No, I don't think so.
But Africa, yes. Sarkodie will do better than Mr. Easy.
I don't think so.
Because right now, let's just ask, right? We don't have any Mr. Easy song in the last 3 months, which is banging in the club.
In the club where?
In Africa.
Say Cameroon.
I said in Africa.
Say Cameroon.
No, my radar is open for Africa. That's why I know what's banging in Africa. So he's not banging in Nigeria now because Wizkid, Burna Boy, and then all these new school guys are banging there.
Mr. Easy has a song that is still banging now, even in clubs over here. Lento with this guy J Balvin. I think is it J Balvin? Lento, that's the title of the song. The song is still there's no club, no night you go to any club without hearing that song.
When you say over there, I hope that listeners understand that that's not Africa you're calling over there.
No. It's African clubs or even Western clubs mixed. I mean, when you go to the club,
clubs in the diaspora,
their
vibe is different from African clubs in Africa. So when I'm talking about Africa, let me not overstretch my knowledge here. I'm talking about at least Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa. A little bit of Kenya will spill into Uganda and partly Ethiopia.
Okay, just
a little bit of Ghana is in Ivory Coast and in Nigeria.
Ask anybody in Nigeria to call 10 songs that rotate in clubs in Nigeria.
There's no listener here who is based in Nigeria.
I mean, if you have a means to gauge.
I talk with people regularly. I'm a little bit involved in the music industry to an extent where I know like the things are banging. I mean, like I'll tell you, like Tiwa Savage is because of her name that she's banging now. But Thames and Area Star are getting bigger than Tiwa Savage. And even before Thames and Area Star, Timmy was already getting big. So those are things like. But still, I don't know if I consider Thames is already bigger than Tiwa Savage because of Tiwa Savage accumulated success over the years. It's not easy for Tems to just blow up and beat it. So when I'm saying that Mr. Easy is not on the radar, it's not because we don't know his songs again. But Mr. Easy's songs are not fresh on people's minds like an Omale, how do they call these other young guys who are up there now? And then there are older guys who are still relevant. Mr. Easy is not any of those two groups I've mentioned.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, let's stop ignoring the comments.
Let me see if there's any. My comment is taking. Anyway, let's proceed to the next topic. I think we have exhausted this out, and definitely one thing we can agree with this is everybody has their point of view.
Yeah, perfect.
And I just found it crazy that in the comment section a lot of Cameroonians were getting really worked up because this list did not put any Cameroonian on the list, and we're using it as a reference. You see, people need to work hard. You see, like,
that's why I asked why though.
Why? It's true.
It shouldn't be.
We work hard. We need to do better. But
yeah.
This is somebody who has probably sat in her room. She says, okay, this according to calcified, whatever the channel's name is, calcified today. Probably somebody who has sat in their room and giving their preference. Probably there are some statistics that they are following somewhere and all that. But at the end of the day, we cannot always pick on these things and let it get us to a place where we feel so worked up and putting attention to people that I feel like they might not be deserving of that attention because bringing negative vibes and not really doing much benefit to the industry. Yeah.
Okay, I understand why 237 Showbiz may share this thing, because pages work with the ranking of pages work with impressions. So the more people spend on a post and comments on it, it rises and they recommend it to more people. So I know when he was reading through the let's just say Twitter, he saw this post and he saw the ranking and he just said, Cameroonian, they would like for include this thing will make people talk. So that I just believe that's why he posted this. There's no emotion attached to this. He didn't have any reason to post this thing except for that reason, because he knew it would cause backlash.
That's why, if you guys recall, I said that I will stick with some of these names, and that's the thing I wanted to go off, and we are not doing our industry a favor in making people feel that we are bigger and then the world is just biased against us. We are not bigger. We feel like we are too talented and the world is ignoring us. We are not too talented. Nobody is ignoring us. Nobody hates us. We have just not done what the world wants. And then if we are being honest to ourselves, even in our own houses and in our own backgrounds, we are not necessarily playing these guys. Unless we play them out of sympathy or support your own 237. So a good number of these guys on this list are valid names. 2 or 3 can be pulled off here and there, but the list is not totally off though. So what I was also saying was, for me, and it's even shocking when I hear people who I feel like they're upcoming artists coming to talk about these things, and I'm like, you should spend this time working on your craft rather than coming to argue on which on what list. You are not even close to this list. Make top 10 in Boya, then top 10 in Southwest, then top 10 in Cameroon, then top 10 in West Africa, then top 10 in Africa, before you start coming to argue on these things. This is time you are wasting. Leave the media to talk about these things. Artists and those who are involved in the work should be focusing on improving these things. Should not convince ourselves that we deserve to be on this list. I don't feel like we do, and there is so much work which we need to put in. I always tell people, like, when I go to someone's people tell me, no, I'm not good enough. Even if I feel like my 7 is good enough, I know when I get to 9, he'll definitely see me. And even if when I get to 9, he does not see me. When I get to 10, he will see me. And at one point, he'll just take shame and say, hey, you are trying. Because if I keep working hard, he'll definitely see me, and there is no stopping to how hard I work till he sees me. So coming to complain of, if he has the power and I've attached validation, or I've attached importance to his validation, I just have to work hard till he recognizes me. Secondly, why do I attach so much importance to list and all of those things? I don't know.
That was what my first comment was, like, why is this list important? Like, why are so many guys like this? It's somebody's preference. The same way I have my preference, and I have every justification. I may come up with so many quirks and things to back up my preference and my list, that maybe when I'm in this mood, I play this guy and this guy has this and this. it's almost like those. Let me just give. It's almost like those King Kong and Mokogang guys stand and brag that Jovi is the richest artist in Africa or Stanley is the richest. They have nothing to back it. But when you start arguing with those guys, you get that. That's why I look at list and some of these things, and I just tell myself, there's no need arguing with this person who actually use emotion and the way they feel to write a list. Because there's no, and when you start trying to argue with them, they try to find some strategic things to back up that list, which don't even make sense. Though those names,
but I feel like some of the people you have called, like the both guns and the rest, we know what they are on to making.
No, yeah, we know some of us. Listen. The thing is, no, we are not completely disregarding the list. Get my point.
Like this, we need to be democratic.
Get my point. I'm not saying we are completely disregarding the list or tearing down the list or canceling the list. There are some guys on the list that even if you do your own personal preference, those guys on that list will be on your own list. But where this thing come in is the places where you think some guys were supposed to be there, but the guy based on his preference replaced them with somebody else. That's where this whole messed up thing come about.
No. I'm not for going with preference. That's why I made it clear that I'm not going by my preference.
No.
And what I was saying was, we are on a public platform. We're on a public platform. People are watching, or people will be watching, right? We hope that when we put out our list, at least 70% of people should vibe to my list. If you notice, I take into consideration regions and countries and people's numbers too. Because it does not end only with what we listen in West Africa. There is this Africa we're talking about. So we cannot say that it's by our preference. And like you put local on your list, do you feel like if we put a poll now for Africa to vote, you are going to have up to 20%? It's true, you might not care if you don't have up to 20%, but I feel like for something which, when I'm speaking in my room, it will be different from when I'm speaking to people, and I feel like their validation matters when I'm speaking to them.
Yeah, so I get the point. So there are times when you're making a list and say, okay, this is what I like, this is my personal preference, and that is that. But I also know that there are times when I've made top 10 lists on Chakara TV, and in the comment section, people are like, what is the criteria? How do you have this list? Or this person deserves to be on the list? So I get to the point that sometimes when you're on a public platform and making a list, you should have your criteria in place so that you can be able to back it down. If somebody comes like, how do you know this? What is the thing that you can be like, okay, this according to this are the facts and all that. So I get the 2 points. But I want us to proceed to
no, there's a comment in the comment section there giving me a kicker. Like, this guy, let's leave. The guys say,
I saw it and I was laughing and I was like,
yeah, I just read it now and the thing is funny.
Oh. Let's leave.
So let's leave it like Chakara TV. The guy in white t-shirt is destroying your channel because all his opinions and statements are a bunch of lies.
That sounds personal.
How?
He cannot be trusted with the truth. It looks like that guy has joined Delibi with Trump supporters and what else?
Let's leave. Oh la la. So where have I like?
Cameroonians in Africa top 10 musicians, that's currently impossible. Well, I don't think it's impossible. I just think we need to do the work to get there. It's not impossible. Before we proceed to talk about Mic Monsta, since you guys are watching, you're watching us right now, and probably you have your top 10. I want us to keep it interesting and keep it interactive. Let us know top 5. Let's not go to 10. What are your top 5 musicians in Africa? We're going to be reading it. Okay, so let's proceed, right? Mic Monsta. He came under fire of recent because he was passing some advice and people did not like the way the advice was presented. I want to read his statement that he said, defending his initial statement, I guess. So he says, to be clear, I'm not attacking young artists. My first post was letting you know it's all about the music. Photo shoot is important for your brand, but music has more value. A young girl went viral on this platform weeks back looking like a street hawker. She had one thing, the music. You will see professional photos of her now and call her a star, but she brought value first. Know where to put your money as a young investor. After all the hype, what remains is the music you put out. Even man wey no follow trend will fall on your music. Even if your team leaves you as an artist, you still have your music. Don't be distracted, fam. It's all love, no strings. We have somebody responding to him saying, the moment you want to pass a message to colleague, never use yourself as a positive reference. So apparently, I think his first post, he was like, okay, look at me, I'm doing it right?
No.
So
The point that guy said was because Mic Monsta made a post and said he used to walk on foot to the studio to record, but they still regarded him. They still gave him that respect as a celebrity and as a star. That's what the guy is talking about. But now he has a car and those things. Yeah, so maybe that's why the guy is saying using yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually saying what you're saying. Like, so he was like, look at me, I'm the good example. I did this right, so you guys follow me, right? So that is first of all cocky and unwise. So that guy's like, don't be using yourself as a perfect example. Then that post confirms your previous post was never about advising younger artists, younger ones. It was an attack, so it's irrelevant. What do we think? First of all, Mic Monsta is, I feel like what he's saying is value, right? You can have the brand, you can have the flashy photos, but you should have the body to it. You should have that strong foundation. If you're an artist, that foundation as an artist should be there. The other things, I think they should come to complement you as an artist. Or do we think that we put the brand first, then the other things the music and the other things can follow? But I feel like Mic Monsta made some sense here. And what do you guys also think about the response? First of all, let's react to Mic Monsta's post. What do we think? Sense or no sense?
Makes so much sense. It goes back to what I said. Cameroonians misguide or misunderstand what is branding, and they spend so much money to look flashy, buying fake chains, doing great things without focus, investing on the art. In a sense, he is right. And on the other hand, I cannot say, in a sense, he's right. Let me just say that. But not completely right though. But he is. He makes some valid points. It's not completely off, but he makes some valid points.
Okay, you said not completely right. What did you find there was not completely right?
On the other hand, he's saying you should spend so much money on the art, like record inexpensive or do great videos and all that, like spend so much money on the art that you want to compare with the international, because he said something like compare the international market and compare what the toy videos or something you're putting out. He talked about that, right? Yeah, he doesn't have any points, because go to the USA. Kodak Black's first song that he blew up, I think he recorded that thing with what? I don't know. First of all, you need to sell you need to promote your art, promote yourself. You don't need to spend what you don't have. You know, he's misguiding that statement. He's misguiding the directory of funds to something else, something which may not help. It's almost like somebody spending so much money shooting a great video because they want Trace to receive it, and at the end it doesn't go on Trace. Who loses? You, the artist. But if you did an average video that you had enough money to pay on blogs and other platforms to promote it, yeah, it makes sense. So he's just going based on the quality of the production. You know, only the quality of the production, that if the production is great, guys will embrace it and you'll grow on its own. Without promotion, nothing will happen. So that's what the side where I think he is wrong at, but the side which I think he is right at is the quality now. If you want to compete in the international standard, like somebody, there are so many videos now. Let me just say somebody like Stanley Eno's songs now. The video he's shooting now, those are low budget videos, like cheap videos. I don't think for the impression that people have of him. Or let me just say Jaloux, that's Blanche Bailey video, Jaloux of that song. That's a low budget video. Forget the fact that they use all those things. That's a low budget video, because the standard of where she's at now in her career, she is all those things. So this point to me, I just think it varies who he's addressing it at. If he's saying this thing to upcoming artists, he's misdirecting that information, you know. Yeah, so you cannot prioritize having A-list without even actually having a great source of revenue, because that's one thing he's negating. A source of revenue, sustainable source of revenue to sponsor that art, promotion, marketing, and production. Yeah. So
I get that, right? So what if I'm understanding you perfectly is, if you're an artist and you have money for your music video and you have money for promotion, you should give a large portion
for
to
promotion.
the promotion. You should prioritize the promotion than the music video.
Yeah.
What if the music video you promote it and people don't vibe to it because it's not good enough?
It depends on the outlet. It depends on the outlet you're trying to reach with the quality of video you have. It depends on the outlet.
Okay. So, I don't know if you can talk about that some more. So, like, what outlet? Like, are you talking about the youth, or is it YouTube, or is it?
No, YouTube. You can post anything. You can post anything, but if you have the funds to promote it, you can promote it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, blogs, radio stations, or even medium-sized TV stations if you want. But when you want to start targeting like this Trace, MTV, and all these places, sometimes they give you a criteria of the kind of videos they want. But you, as an upcoming artist, okay, the song you're doing, you don't know if that song will be. I always prioritize this thing, building your niche audience, because when you're building your niche audience, they vibe to you and your music before even going for the, okay, you're now doing this flashy and top class, top notch production. You need to reach the people who vibe to your songs first, reach the people who vibe to your art first, and then you start thinking about, okay, let me increase the quality to tell my guys who vibe with me that we are finally going up, we are making it, the process is paying off, all this. Then those bigger outlets, now you can now start. That's why you start from Cameroon, then you go to Africa, and then you go international. On all those spaces, you have different levels of quality and productivity that you need to present, you know. So you should not, you cannot be at the ground level and try to please those guys who are at the top when you don't even have a means to feed to make your content reach those guys at the top.
Okay. So I want to get the ambassador of Africa. First of all, as like Gono, what's happening, ambassador?
Exactly, you guess correct. The struggle is real.
Where? Okay, so let us know. Before we go there, I just want to point something out. We are seeing the reality here in Africa, so you cannot be comparing probably in France to the reality here in Africa. No, like, how do you record in the studio?
You cannot compare me with any person doing a podcast in America and in Europe.
Exactly.
I have an unfair advantage. Now I'm using my phone to get and I've connected some touchlight things. So now I'm going to hold a bush lamp and hover it over my head.
No, but electricity has come back. From what I'm seeing, it's like it has come back.
Lights have just come back now.
Yeah, I just noticed it. I noticed the.
Yeah, but how do they call it? But my modem is going to take a while to kick in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so back to the Madagascar thing. I don't know, remember how my line is not breaking.
Mic Monsta. No, it's not breaking. Mic Monsta.
I wanted to say, yeah. For me, I mean, when I listen to some of these things, the first thing that just comes to my mind is there's this sentence we use here where we say, "Unagobioliso." So the whole industry, there is this slang they use in Cameroon. They say, "Unagobioliso."
Oh.
Yes. So it just says that I feel like Mic Monsta is all the way correct. He's right in what he's saying with regards to the branding and the rest. And I've seen that. I have had that experience firsthand, where artists are feeling like they like the brand side of it, but what are you branding? What are you selling? When they come to look beneath those nice clothes and nice shoes, what is there? What is the substance? What is the scarce thing? Everybody can have those shoes from the shops. Everybody can have the cars. But what is the unique thing you are offering which is of scarce value? That you don't want them to pay you like a civil servant ending 300,000 francs. You feel like you should command 1 million, 2 million for people to spend time with you, 1 hour of you singing. What is that unique thing you're offering? That's your talent. And most of the time, people miss it out and they'll focus their resources and their energy towards how do I look. As I said, I don't know, in the discussion we had before, like branding is not just So branding has made it look like it's lavish. The branding is more of your core audience. What do they relate to?
Exactly.
And then how can you connect with them through this thing? Consider yourself not as a person who wants to impress the girls in the neighborhood, but as a guy, as a product. Imagine that you are a shoe. If I want to sell this shoe, who wants to buy the shoe? And why would the person want to give up his hard-earned 100,000 francs to get that shoe? So just put yourself like usually. That's why some of these artists do this. Their whole double personality thing of like there is Beyonce, there's Sasha Fierce. Because every now and then, in the boardroom of let me call it the company Beyonce, Sasha Fierce has to be put in the middle and then said Sasha Fierce has to look sexy now. Beyonce might be a very prudent church girl, but now Sasha Fierce has to look sexy because they have realized that 80% of our subscribers are white male. Sasha Fierce might not need to do great this time around. I was also reading a magazine where the marketing guy was saying that he told Trey Songz to cut off his braids, and Trey Songz not cut off his braids because he was like, it's just my braids, it's my hair, it's my natural hair. I'm African, I'm this and that. The whole Black Power story. But if you want to make the money or not, if you want to make the money, this is what you should do. And so when he cut his hair, he started appealing to a different kind of audience. He went the whole calm, sexy boy look. And then now he got better endorsement deals his way. So it's not about you. So when I listen to like the guy who responded, a lot of ego. It's true that when Mic Monsta was passing on the message, maybe not, there was some ego into it. But I feel like the response just came from a place of ego, like, who are you to be talking to us? It's not about him talking to you, it's just one business advising the other business, like, this is how I succeeded, you should do it. And I don't see any harm in, if I've succeeded, for me to tell my younger brother, like when I was in class 2, I was failing at one point in time, or I did not fail because it's what I did. It's not bragging, it's just passing on advice to people. But we have that issue here in Cameroon. I tell people, like, when I go to Nigeria and other countries, there is a certain level. I tell people, like, the Bible was not stupid when they say, honor your mother and your father so that your days might be long on this earth. If you look at the wisdom in that line, that same wisdom translates to a certain level of respect for your elders so that your days might be productive. Or maybe I'm just giving a random example. Yeah. Because there's that advice which the person in front can give you, which you don't have and only time will give you. When a certain disrespect for our adults and people who have stayed longer than us in the industry, you meet people talking, and there was one post where somebody was like, I think they're talking about Tisi Pancha, where they were saying, before you were calling Marvin Slim boss, now that your pockets are becoming heavy, you are calling him bro. I think he was happy, but then he referred to Marvin Slim as bro or something. Bro. We have that certain thing, Cameroonian, and I've noticed it. People calling you boss. As soon as they start having 50,000 in their pocket, the boss starts coming with a little bit of hesitation. Then soon the boss just becomes B. We don't know B is for bro or is for boss anymore. Then soon they just start calling you bro because they're having money, and that just tells you, like, it's not because they really respected your person. It's because they wanted the money which you had and they needed it at the time. It's not because they respected you. So all of those things, I just feel like, anyway, we don't have that respect in our industry, and that's one of the reasons why we cannot get the blessings from the older generation. You see a young guy like who was this recently, who went and was prostrating in front of Olamide. Olamide is not that old. Especially guys like Two-Face, when they meet Two-Face, they're all richer than Two-Face, but they'll prostrate, they'll sleep on the floor. Which artist in Cameroon can sleep in front of another artist? They will never. But they want all the glory, they want the blessing. And when that other person has a connection with trust and does not give you, you write a love letter to all the blogs in Cameroon complaining why he has not given his connection. Why should he give you? He does not owe you anything. If you cannot give him the least, which is respect, why should he give you his connect? So we'll be able to.
Another one too.
Let me read the comment.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me read the comment. Uwem Odu says, Ambassador always on point. Then we have Kisi Ayenka saying, Wunago be so. Then he goes on to say, bloggers taught them that is branded. So would you blame them? Then he says, the young ones took it back because of the addiction. Is it addiction?
I think
okay.
I understand that.
Yeah, so but let's talk about this one. He says bloggers taught them that is branding. So would you blame them? Is it bloggers who taught them?
Yeah, it's
Is
Cameroon
that thing
bloggers
coming
who
from
instigate
bloggers?
that thing because they always say you look bummy, that your branding is very poor. You need to wear this, you need to look flash, you need to look like a star, you need to look like all this misguided notion of branding. So he said bloggers taught them that looking flashy, looking fly, paying all those things, spending your money on those looks and appearances is branding, which that's not branding. So the ambassador, you said, like I said, he's right and he's wrong. He's right in the sense that in the position where he's at right now, where he sees things, is different from somebody starting from from ground zero. Okay, the higher you go, it's almost the same thing like when they ask you, do you prefer 500,000 francs or a meeting with Jay-Z? Because what Mic Monsta, Jay-Z will only give you example. He'll start talking about that you go for the meeting with Jay-Z.
Yes, all the way.
Me too.
What the fuck? I'll go for the 500k because at that
You'll
point,
finish.
no, get my point. At that point in Jay-Z's career, when you meet him, the kind of business opportunities and the things that he'll be giving you at that moment are things that financially you are not able to engage in all those things to make the amount of money he's telling you. He talk about real estate, talk about property flipping, all these things. If you had met Jay-Z when he was still coming up from his drug dealing days to starting his own brand, to start all those things, the ideas he'll give you will match with your financial state at that point. Okay, you can do this to get to this, do this to get to this. But the tax bracket is different. His investment knowledge is completely different from somebody who doesn't afford or can't have 500,000.
I feel like
Get this.
Jay-Z is not only going to tell you about flipping real estate, he's also going to tell you the journey which he took from the selling drugs, the endorsement deals, to having the capital now to be able to do the real estate.
Okay.
That journey will also help me.
Okay, understand this. Even the Jay-Z said if he was in your shoe, he will pick the 500k because he doesn't believe that his journey or the knowledge he'll give you now will impact what you have or impact your. Because most of these guys who pick having a meeting with Jay-Z, are the guys who believe that they can get some magical knowledge that will flip their life, some information that will flip their life.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
For me, it's just more about the blueprint, though. So I always tell people like money is not the problem. I tell people like if I have long life and I can sit in Chakarati, if I have long life, 500k should not be my problem in 10 years time. 500k in dollars I'm talking about should not be my problem in 10 years time. So my worry now is the steps to get to it, but I don't feel like 500k will ever be my problem. And I also think that I tell people like Jay-Z maybe use drugs. I know that, okay, you need to have that job, that start-off capital, but I don't want to use drugs. There are also certain things which I know that I can do. I tell young people, like, just in these NGO grant circles, there are things that you can flip here and there, and then make that money almost looking like a drug dealer when you are not a drug dealer. It's all about understanding demand and supply and where capital is flowing towards. So I can go get my own 500k from somewhere, and then, so my biggest fear, my prayer to God every day is, please don't give me money when I'm not ready for it. So I need to meet Jesus so I can be ready for it, because I know the money is coming. It's not the problem. It's the knowledge, what I'll do.
So what I'm saying is,
so when money has come, I've messed it up because I don't have the knowledge.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, Mic Monsta, what he's talking about, if an artist doesn't even have the money to produce, let me just say, okay, he has the basic money to produce a record, let's just say an audio version of the song, okay? He doesn't have the money he has money, okay? But that money can go for one thing: promote the audio or shoot a fly-ass video. Which one will you pick?
Promote
the audio or shoot a fly-ass video. Which one will you pick?
That's a tricky question, but off the fly, I would say in our present day industry, I would rather shoot a flyers video.
And do what with it?
And then hope that it's so fly.
No, hope. You're a businessman. Stop talking about hope. Business people.
That's what I'm saying. No, if I'm a businessman, my business plan is going to have generating capital for promotion and for shooting a flyers video.
No, I mean, no.
I'm a businessman. I'm not going to start on the project if one then the other.
No, I'm talking about the funds that are available. we are starting from you have funds to you've already recorded the audio. You have funds to promote or shoot a flyers video. That's why I ask. So I'm not saying that if you're a businessman, you start with raising money for both. Yeah.
I'm going to split the funds into two. Not shoot a flyers video, shoot an average video and then have average promotion.
Boom. So what I'm saying is Mike has a point, and at the same time he doesn't have a point, because it's this thing. Anybody, it depends on the level you're at. You absorb it in a certain way. If you're at the level where a video, you need to reach out, you need the reach without proving the quality or the level of where you're at or the quality of your art. Malox, for example, up to today, Malox doesn't shoot expensive videos.
I don't know, please. I don't know if I can ask this here, right?
Yeah.
There is somebody watching us. I think he's from Ghana, from the name.
Yeah.
His name is I think Udo.
Yep.
And he said just 2 weeks ago, Sarkodie didn't make the first 20 Apple streaming list in Ghana. First 18 were Nigerian jams. Please, I don't know. Can you just give us the
first 18?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The number games for Nigerians influencing most of the streaming things. That's because of their number game. But we cannot blame them for that. But please just give us, if you can just copy that list and give us, let's
exactly. So that's why I'm saying that. Do you think there are some guys on that 10 list? Do you think there are some guys that they haven't called on that list that sell more than Sarkodie? That was what I said. So I'm not far from the point.
Show me that list first. As I said, I will not argue with any list which is backing it off the numbers from Apple streaming.
Because I know for a fact, for a fact, I know Rema sells more than Sarkodie. That's a fact.
Oh, okay. I mean,
then we how you so sure? Is it? Are you
no,
speculation
for me, right? You can be right. Of my impression, I'll say I don't think so. But if you can just tell me like Sarkodie sold 20 million, Rema sold 21, then I'm good.
Let's have the statistics.
Then I'm good.
Okay.
So sure.
Yeah.
There are so many.
That's why I just told him like, let him just give us the list. Let him just paste on the chat group the list of that first 18 or 20, and then we are good. There's no argument.
After this, we can use Google, right? After this, we can use Google, Billboard Africa, or we use Apple Pay Africa and all these things.
Part of this discussion is to inform our audience. So if we are checking Google after this, the audience might get the misleading message like I was saying that. Meanwhile, if the numbers say this,
but what I'm saying is that if we use the word fact, then we should be sure and we have already done the research on Google. But if not, then
drop the numbers.
Maybe, but if not, then I think maybe because fact is like you're telling people this is how it is. Yeah, I want to read what Kizzy said. It says, say when you come on the no. What am I like?
No, he's talking about. He said, "I was saying the young ones took Mike's talk because of the diction he used. Diction means the matter, the thing he used."
So I've gone to Google actually. I've Googled the meaning of diction, and it means the choice and use of words and phrases in the speech or writing. Okay, so that's what he means. So I think that was it. It was the way he presented the point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could somebody read the other messages? Like it's so difficult for me to read my screen. I'm trying to divide my phone and read it.
Which one? Because the last message I have here is when you come. No, okay. Let me see. Where did you guys? The young ones took it back because of the picture. So
let's leave. He's saying something very, 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 very important.
When you come on public platform, you should be armed with raw data to support your claims. In absence of this, you are literally using your platform for misinformation.
True.
So I think that's what we're saying, where we said we can back it up with the numbers, but at times in a podcast, it's a discussion. Every day
that's what I'm saying. That on a podcast is discussion. No, so let's leave. There's a point he said lies. He should tell me the point where I said it's a lie. Like where I'm lying.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
Yeah, you should clarify.
Even those who are in the chat box, You should also give
It's
us
a podcast, it's a
back what you are
conversation,
saying.
it's a discussion between us
Yes.
and you guys. That's why there's a comment section, the live
Yes.
chat.
So you can as well give your facts to say that, okay, Kelly B, what you're saying is wrong.
Yeah.
Or maybe what I said on Sarkozy, someone came and said top 18 was Nigerians, and I'm like, please just share the list with us.
Exactly.
And you're right. We are all learning these things and exchange.
And I know, and I suspect where he's talking about all those things is about like, I believe it's around the Mr. Easy thing. So you guys can research it.
Yeah, let him just back it up.
He should back it up.
He goes on to say, no ill feelings towards my brother.
No, that's why I laughed, because I understood what he said.
Topic. It says, please research your topic and give us facts. Okay.
The only thing I said is all these lists are personal preferences. We just try to come up with motives and things that may see people who try to dispute the list reason or see why we rank the list the way we did, but it doesn't change the fact that it's based on personal preferences. Our shows are different because they can at least.
That's why I said I don't think it's personal preferences if the person gives. No, even with some of these lists, some of the lists when you are reading it, they tell you clearly the criteria which they follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tell you and they give you. You can give and do your research.
That's why most of the time I tell people, like, ask me first the criteria. Or I think I had a discussion with her one time and I was like, even in your ad call, is it a thumbnail or is it a pin, whatever that you pin on your YouTube? You can as well just mention the criteria to avoid any crazy questions. I can say top 10 artists in Africa. I don't know if I'm talking about height. And when I go and put, I don't know who, what was his name even? This is our guy here in Cameroon. Or maybe I put Ex-Malaya above Jovi. I put Ex-Malaya above Jovi. You start going at me, but Ex-Malaya are all taller than Jovi. So that I might be going by height. If I put my criteria clearly, that's it. So I just feel like that's why when I started giving my own top 10, I clearly said my criteria I'm going by is this and that. I don't know if that's what the person who came up with this list we are talking about, her criteria, but I just gave mine just to be consistent in my argument.
Yeah, so I definitely think having a criteria to back up your top 10 list, especially if you're in a public platform and you're saying it, like, for example, when I do top 10s on Chakara TV, I'm not saying it like everybody can come up with a list. Not everybody has a platform to have to come up with their own list. So I am the one, and if somebody is not in tune with the African culture or what is happening popping in the African world and they want to know more, and they type on YouTube top 10 African artists and they see my video and they watch it, it's from my video that they are getting their point of view of what are the top 10 people popping in the music scene in Africa. So it's very important if you're in that public space and you're passing information, to be very sure that you're putting the facts. And sometimes honestly my list will go off. I'll put some personal preferences, but I also try.
Is it my line or is your line that is breaking?
I don't know. Is my line breaking?
No, I can get you very well. I think it's yours, the ambassador. Yeah.
Okay.
And also in the comment section, I don't know if you have noticed, right? There's something I've noticed, especially with the Chakara TV comment section, is the representation of Africa. Like the first name looks Ghanaian. I don't know about the second name. The third one, the Al Banda, I feel like it's Cameroonian too.
Yeah.
We have Cameroonian, Ghanaians, and Sierra Leoneans here.
Yeah.
I think we have Nigerians.
Yeah, I think sometimes Nigerians there. Yeah.
Was if you see the what's this guy's name, the numbers which the guy Udo gave us, I think he's from Ghana, saying that Nigerians are the top 18 out of the top 20 in Ghana. That should tell us a lot for Cameroonians to learn, and a lot of other smaller African countries. I remember one time Sierra Leone and Cameroon were going against Ghana,
Nigeria. Yeah.
But it does not pay to. It's a numbers game, most of these things. And when you have people like Cameroonians complaining, look at what Nigerians are doing. They're dominating the charts in Ghana. The best Ghanaians can do is to work hard to dominate the charts too in Nigeria or in Africa. And if in entertainment, if we don't think Africa, the strength of America is because they understood the strength of the United States of America. Europe saw that strength and they're trying to do the Schengen thing for them too. If Africans, especially Cameroonians, don't understand the power of thinking African, they are missing the whole game. We'll sit in our neighborhood bars and be arguing on I feel I'm more talented. Those people are biased, they hate me because they think that we're francophones, when it's Nigerians because they think that we are anglophones. Any direction that you want to complain about is not helping anybody. We have to think about the numbers game and we have to think African. And that's what I think the Nigerians are doing. Kum Kum is beaten in Ghana, they jump on it. Amapiano is beaten in South Africa, they jump on it. Our Makosa wanted to beat a bit, they took the Makosa from us and ran away with it. So they don't send, as they say, anything that is making it work for Africa, they go with it. Other countries should learn that too.
Yeah. I just thought of the fact that when I think initially was the Congolese having their whole Dombolo dance move was going viral. Of recent, most of the popping dance moves are from Nigerians. Most of the popping, all the Zanku and
Shaku and the rest,
Shaku, yeah. So they are really looking what is trending. How can we go viral? Okay, we have Al saying it's always great to see you guys chatting about the industry and representing for the culture. We try. Okay, so I think we have gone for more than an hour. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Gezi Rex too is pretty though.
Gezi Rex, what's up?
Okay,
we're all doing well.
Let me scroll down.
Everybody's fine. And we did not even do live update today.
Yeah, I decided for house. Okay. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, Gezi Rex, I guess we're all doing well. Wait, let's do the live update. Ambassador, are you well?
Let's close with live update. Ambassador.
Yes, are you well?
Yes, as I said, I'm alive.
Okay.
The blackouts and the political instability this end is not making things easy for us. Yeah, but we keep on pushing, we keep on struggling.
Yeah, that's it. Delby?
Yep. I'm fine.
Are you fine?
Yeah, everything is perfect. And all the sauce all those sauce that I used to have in the gym are all gone. Now I go to the gym and I come back and I'm fine. It's because I stayed for some time. So anybody who works out, you know that when you pick up again, when your muscles ache and before you get used to it again. So I'm fine now, and yeah, everything is progressing fine. Everything else.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to.
What?
I mean, most people start going to the gym when it's approaching summer, so that they can have their abs ready for the beach.
Yeah.
But you are going to the gym when it's approaching winter.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what you are preparing.
No, I said the reason I started going to the gym is because I started feeling heavy, like lazy. So I wanted to loosen up. That's why because during winter everybody's inside.
Was about their looks.
Yeah, partially my looks, but
Okay.
but during winter everybody is indoors. So I just realized that if I can be this heavy during summer, winter is going to be bad. So let me just shake this thing off before the hibernation period comes. Yeah.
Okay, that is it for this episode of the Contrast Podcast. Thank you guys for sticking with us. I don't know if there are any other comments. Let me see if there are some final comments before we. Okay, guess the last comment. Thank you for sticking with us. We truly had a very diverse audience today, and it's really good for us to have our mini Pan-African conversation over here.
Yep.
It was a really good one, and people were coming with their facts and the statistics, and that was nice. And the title of the show goes, it's a contrast show. So if you are getting shocked by all the contrast going on here, just like that. That's what the show is about. Yes. A lot of contrast we're trying to represent. Yes.
Yeah.
So before we go, as usual, we always like for each member of the panel to have their closing statement. So let's start with Delibi. What's your closing statement?
My closing statement is I like the conversation of today, but I don't it was kind of we are going off somebody's opinion, and it's their opinion, and that's why I liked when we were asked to give our own top 5. At least we were given the same position to give our own opinion and put this list together, so it's fair. It's kind of fair. And let's leave. I think I kind of like this guy. I always go for the guys who are, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but yeah. you caught my attention. But overall, it was a great conversation, and that's just my closing remark.
Okay, the ambassador.
Oh, for me, I always say it's about, and I like the contrast we had, especially today, the diverse opinions in the chat group. The contrast we had, because it's still, they said it's when ideas clash, that great ideas pop up. So to keep doing the clashing and the contrasting here to great ideas pop up. And I'm feeling like some people might watch these and then get an idea from this, our contrasting we are doing here. They might just catch on the spark and then run with it. That's the intention. So I feel like we met our objective, or the purpose of this whole contrast thing, is for ideas to clash and then great ideas to pop up. Also, I feel like generally, most of the time the titles might be Cameroon, but I feel like a lot of these discussions will apply to Africa as a whole.
Exactly.
Because most of the challenges we are facing in Cameroon, or most of the discussions we are having in Cameroon, you'll be shocked. That when you go to Nigeria, feel that
I see them here having it. No, but the most thing that I always have is reaches this artist, reaches that. They always talk about most of the things we Cameroonians talk about. They don't usually talk about dominating, blah 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 blah. So they may talk about dominating, but the list is different. They maybe say Davido bad pass Wizkid, like they start talking about all these things, but they talk about it. The us Cameroonians, sometimes we try to insert some of our guys in there. When, let's just say, musically we can say we can input them, but go commercially and the rest, no, it's not even a competition, No,
but I feel like musically and commercially, when let's say Awilo Gumba was popping, Nigerians had to take him in. When Fali Popa is popping, they'll take him in. You coming from a smaller group, you might have to work harder, but that's just what it is. Those are the cards you are dealt with. Play with it. Do what you have to do to get what you want. Complaining does not help anybody. So for me, that's now going back to what Mic Monsta said. Let's just put in the work. There's too much talking, nobody's doing the working. Leave the talking to the media. You, the artists, do the working. So that and then I also feel like this whole trend of people wanting to get validation from outside when there's no validation from inside, it's a very unsustainable business model. Because as soon as there's the least wind that touches you, there's no foundation to hold you to the ground and you're going to fall. So please, our artists, Cameroonian or whatever country, should start to build local fan base to build upon to continental, then global.
These are guys who think about Grammys when they don't even have a grasp of their own local, let's say, media. You should stop thinking about that.
Okay, so yes, he said he's a guy, and he said I'm a man.
Oh.
So,
okay.
He's not just a guy.
Yes, okay.
Thank you guys very much. It has been a very interesting one, a very engaging one, and like both the ambassador and Delibi said, we had a conversation which we do hope that people listening to this would pick up something and it might influence somebody in one way or another. So we are the media. I guess we're the media, right?
Yeah.
Kind of for now.
Yeah, exactly. We're the media. So, like you said, let the artists do the work. The media should talk. So we're the ones doing the talking, and we have done a lot of talking today. And
wait, everybody, these guys watching us right now, if they would like to join the Contrast WhatsApp group, is it below this video? Is the link below this video?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a link below this video. You click the link, you can join the WhatsApp group. From there, if you have any facts, any questions, or any topics that you want us to discuss about, you can drop it there. Okay. You can just leave it there and then we'll read it, and the next time we come live we may say, okay, this person suggested this, is it true, is it wrong? Then we just give our opinions on it, and it sparks the conversation. So
you can also drop facts in the group. You can also, if you have some statistics somewhere that you like
that you like to,
they're like, we got something wrong, you can always do that. Set the record straight over there. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up to this video. Let YouTube know you loved it so they can recommend this video to other people. Share the video, that's also nice. And hopefully you're subscribed to Chakara TV and your notification button is turned on. And also you're subscribed to Molly Town, because if you want to follow the whole contract journey, then you need to be subscribed to Molly Town too, because on Friday, this very kind of conversation, this very kind of engaging conversation, we're going to be